always understand why, but an armored vehicle is almost a necessity now. That's what a sheriff just told reporters recently out in Marathon County, Wisconsin, a town of fewer than 3,000 residents, about why he sent a military armored vehicle out to collect money from one 75-year-old man who owed the town money. Apparently, the sheriff thought that kind of force was necessary to make an elderly man pay some fines. The 75-year-old in question is Roger Hopner, who's been fighting with the town for his right to use his property the way he wants to. And the way he wants to is to use his 20 acres of land to run a tractor and pallet repair business. But the town has been wanting him to clean up all the parts and pallets strewn about his property. Officials claim Hopner's business is in violation of zoning ordinances, but Hopner thinks otherwise. A couple of years ago, the town confiscated some of Hopner's equipment because he refused to pay the fines, instead fighting the town with lawsuits and appeals through the court system. So he's not just outright ignoring the fines, he's fighting them legally. But apparently the town is sick of this whole legal process and wants its money now. They've been imposing a $500 a day fine on Hopner for refusing to remove some of his equipment from his own property. And the bill ran up to $86,000. And now the town just decided it was time to collect. So the sheriff deployed his SWAT team, who showed up at Hopner's house with the Marathon County Response Vehicle, which they call MARV for short, along with 24 armed officers. The sheriff told reporters that as soon as Marv shows up, people give up and do exactly as the police want. So he was entitled to bring such force to Hopner's land. This despite admitting that Hopner never made any threats or indications at all that he'd be violent. And it worked with Hopner too. He came out of his house when the armored vehicle and 24 armed officers commanded him to. And then the SWAT team forced him to go to the bank with them, withdraw $80,000, and hand it directly over to the police right then and there. Hopner said his retirement fund is now gone, used up in this fight over how he can use his own land. He also said his wife was so shaken by the show of military force that she had to go to the hospital after the incident. So you can see why the sheriff said his armored vehicle is a necessity. It's a great way to take the people you're only supposed to serve and protect, quite literally, for all they're worth. Tonight, let's talk about that by following me on Twitter @TheResident.